Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to CineMike. For this episode, I'm going to review Saban's Power Rangers, the reboot that die-hard fans of the 1990s TV series have been waiting for. Many years have passed since the series first aired, and all of its original fans have grown up. We now live in an era of costumed superheroes dominating the box office. The movies in the genre have become increasingly more sophisticated and respected with time. So, the Power Rangers has the very difficult job of pleasing its core fan base while also matching the quality of modern expectations and attracting new fans. Does it succeed? Well, to answer that question, I will tackle what I liked and disliked about the movie. Let's start with the positives. I think that for the most part, the movie was able to update itself for our times. And I have a confession to make. I was never really a fan of the original series. I know that's blasphemy to some, but even as a kid, I found it a bit too campy and light for my tastes. Now, what my reviewing brings to this is that perspective of just your average moviegoer. And what I really appreciate about this reboot is that they do manage to make the story and characters more grounded and relatable. They walk the line of making the movie watchable for both adults and kids. So this should open this movie up more for fans and non-fans like myself alike. And I know some people were concerned that the movie would be more Breakfast Club and Chronicle than Power Rangers, but I think that turned out not to be the case here. And yes, certainly there are some influences from those films in there, but it was much lighter than I expected. I also thought that the actors all did the best with what they had. Dacre Montgomery plays Jason Scott, and I think he brings all the qualities needed for the character. On the surface, he can be reckless and rebellious, but he's also a stand-up guy. He's protective of others and has an instinct to lead. He plays it all really well, and I also really enjoyed his relationship with Billy, who's played by R.J. Cyler. I thought it was a really nice addition to the character Billy to put him on the autistic spectrum. It added another layer to him that brought unique interactions and humor. The other three Rangers were all played well, but they didn't stand out as much. I do like the diversity of the cast, though, both in race and also in personality. And there's even a member of the team who is gay, and it's nice to see that represented on screen. I, am happy they didn't shy away from that. And Elizabeth Banks was a great choice for Rita. She really dives into the part and chews the scenery in a really creepy way. Bill Hader, he's a really fun choice for Alpha 5. I thought he lightened the mood and brought a lot of levity. Bryan Cranston, I'm a huge fan of his, and he could just sit there and read the alphabet and still be amazing. But I do feel that his talents were slightly wasted as Zordon, so the movie definitely has some good points to it. But it also has some negative ones, so I'm going to move on into that. While I like the cast, I do think that some of the writing for them could have been stronger. Zach, played by Ludi Lin, was not a very memorable character for me, which is a shame because I know he's a popular character with fans, but he's just rebellious, but we already kind of have that with Jason, so Zach's more rebellious? I don't know, it just didn't seem like there was a lot there to work with. They gave him some stuff with a sick mother, but I could use a little more. Trini, played by Becky G, is a bit inconsistent. Sometimes she's super gung-ho about taking risks, but then other times she's the cautious one. Kimberly, played by Naomi Scott, spends the movie really building up her backstory with how she ended up in detention, to the point that she has to reveal it in private to Jason as though it's going to be something super dramatic. Well, it turns out it's pretty lame. It's just your typical high school drama, and I know that they're in high school, but you can't build something up so much and then not deliver something a little bit more unexpected. The movie also leans a bit too much on coincidence for me. All of these kids just so happen to be in the right place at the right time to find the power coins, and just so happens that this coincides with Rita Repulsa being fished out of the water. And this is after 65 million years of these things lying dormant. Now, a simple explanation would have been showing that them finding the power coins triggered Rita's power coin to rise her from the ocean depths, but they don't show that. There's actually a lot of explanations that they kind of gloss over in this, especially for people that are non-fans of the show. Like, how did the kids become martial artists with just 10 days of training? The movie focused too long on certain developments and then rushed too fast through others. I like the idea of them saving the morphing until the team has earned it, but waiting until the finale felt maybe a little too long. Then, once they morph into their armor, the film gets lost in a flood of CGI. And it also doesn't help that the CGI was only just passable. I felt very detached from the action because there was barely anything real on the screen during the whole ending. It's the same issue with the action in Transformers. The finale also focused too much of its action on the Zords. And okay, I get it. The Zords are popular. but we spend the whole movie waiting to watch them morph, and then they spend the majority of the finale hidden away in the Zords. They only spend like barely a minute actually fighting hand to hand. The movie also sometimes feels small, with most of the action being set in the boring location of Angel Grove. Okay, I know that's from the show, but something about it just felt kind of claustrophobic in certain areas, and maybe that's something to do with, some budget constraints and stuff like that, and maybe sequels will open it up more, I don't know. But I would have liked a little more scope to a certain extent. Also, do you remember Man of Steel? How everyone complained during that Smallville fight scene about all the product placement? You got a Sears on one corner, then a 7-Eleven, and then an IHOP? Well, this movie competes with Man of Steel for the most obvious product placement award. You know Krispy Kremes? Yeah, great donuts. Well, it actually plays as a major plot point in this movie, and it's ridiculous. I went into this movie with really low expectations, and that turned out to give the movie a boost for me because it could only be better than what I expected. I was surprised to find myself investing in the characters, so I'd say the movie did its job to a degree. However, it wasn't good enough to truly stand alongside the greats from the genre. It's nothing in comparison to anything that Marvel's putting out there. So on a rating scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the very best that this particular movie can possibly be, I'd give Power Rangers a 7 out of 10. And that about covers it this time. Click like if you enjoyed the video, and please feel free to comment below. Tell me what you thought about the movie. I also welcome you to subscribe to the channel. So until next time, this is Mike, signing off.